Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Retro Warriors episode 551. Woo! As always, I'm your host, Justin Baker, and as always, I'm joined by viable human Chris Saturn.
You had a longer pause than normal. I was scared.
I paused for a moment. I was like, wait, did it cut out? Did Saturn cut out? And then your woo came late, and I was like, oh no, are we delayed?
Oh, no.
I don't know. Look, everything's weird. It's
Yeah.
fine. As far as housekeeping, we froze. Texas froze. The whole state froze.
Yeah, the world is frozen.
It's pretty rough. My kid missed a week of school. I haven't been able to leave my property for over a week.
Right.
I'm hoping I can get out tomorrow to try to get to a grocery store, but also mail hasn't been running for a week or any packages of any kind. So I'm guessing even if I can get to a grocery store, there won't be anything there.
My local grocery store finally restocked today, so they're looking normal.
True, but you're in the city.
Right,
And I'm
yeah.
in the not city.
I'm in the suburbs. That's not the city.
Yeah. I've been on powdered eggs for a couple days, and here in about 5 days, I'm going to be on powdered milk. Thankfully, I keep powdered rations on hand because I'm weird.
You are a weirdo, which is
I do
handy from time to time.
My final emergency food stopgap is a big pile of Spam, cans of Spam.
I don't see the problem.
So the joke is always like when it gets bad, and we'll know if things have gotten bad when we're eating the Spam. Like if we ever have to eat the if you ever hear from me and I'm eating Spam, then something's gone wrong.
Yeah, let's send help.
We've gotten down to the bottom of the barrel. My week, it feels weird talking about it because we talked about it for 20 minutes on the pre-show, but I am still trying to peck away at Trails of Cold Steel 2.
So if anyone wants to hear more about it, just go listen to the pre-show.
Yeah, on the pre-show, you got 20 minutes about Cold Steel, and it's just it's just taking a long time to get back to where I felt like I got to at the end of the first game, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to spoil anything or anything like that, but it's very much like you feel like you work up to this configuration and cast of characters at the end of the first game, then the second game's like, nah, they're all gone. And I'm like, but I earned all those for like 60 hours. And
also you lose most of your equipment and everything.
Yeah. And so it's
you have
just
to rebuild your equipment pool.
It's this like frustrating, like, all right, go rebuild everything. And I'm like, I just did that. I just did it. And then you took it from me.
On the bright side, Cold Steel 2 gives you access to everything earlier than in the first game, and you spend more of the game more or less fully equipped. So that's something.
Yeah. And I think I presume the end of Act 1 is when you've gotten all of your stuff and people back for the most part, I imagine. Yeah. And I think I'm getting, who am I missing? I'm missing, Emma. I think Emma. I think I'm only missing Emma. So, Emma and Laura. I'm missing Emma and Laura. Okay. They're the two that I'm missing still.
All right. Yeah.
So I'm coming up right here on the end of regaining what I had previously. So we'll see. Also been doing the Animal Crossings. I don't know if I talked about it last week or not, but they dropped the new update and everything, and we're still playing that as a family.
I think you mentioned it briefly, but it had been a fairly new release at the time.
Yeah, it's good, man. The new update's good. I still have my problems with Animal Crossing, but they had a lot of good stuff. The hotel is cool. It's really cute. They added the ability to craft items at your little workbench from your storage instead of having to have the shit on your person, which is nice.
Nice.
So a few quality of life upgrades, a bunch of content upgrades. Weirdly enough, Animal Crossing continues to be, like, maybe with possibly the only exception being like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, sort of the best value first-party Nintendo game. Because they just keep adding so much shit to it. Granted, they do have a paid expansion, but honestly, the paid expansion is neat, but really skippable, in my opinion. And then even the Switch 2 upgrade was only $4.99, which is half the price of most Switch 2 upgrades. Yeah. Like, it's a lot of content. They keep adding so much. I keep waiting for them to want more money. You know what I mean? To be like, all right, we're going to charge for the next upgrade, and they just kind of aren't.
Nice.
And so that's nice to see.
It's unlike Nintendo, but, no complaints.
Yeah, I'm guessing whoever's running Animal Crossing, they didn't get the memo that you're supposed to be screwing everybody as hard as you can. But yeah, it's good. My favorite thing was, I don't remember if I talked about it or not, so stop me if I did, but they added Rossetti, who's my favorite character, back to the game. And he can reset everything on your island that you've built and decorated, and all your flowers and everything. Back to nothing, so that you can sort of like redevelop and decorate your island. Because the problem with Animal Crossing you get into is you're like, all right, I filled my whole island with shit, but doing things in the game is often so tedious that if you're ever like, I kind of want to redo my island, the daunting tedium that entails, you're like, never mind. I'll just fucking have it be decorated this way forever. I don't want to go pick up 70,000 flowers. I think I had over 1,200 individual flower plants on my island, so it would have been 1,200 times I'd have to go pick up a flower plant with my shovel, fill the hole, and then go put it in my inventory somewhere.
Sounds like hell.
And so Resetti will just like suck all that up and stick it on your inventory for you, which is great. So we all did the reset, and we're all rebuilding our islands and redecorating. And I made a little arcade on mine, and my kid made a apple orchard on hers, and we're just having fun doing that. But yeah, other than that, just being frozen, stuck in my house. We're going to try to go out for groceries tomorrow. That's going to be the big excitement for the week. So
wish you luck. I hope that, because my first trip to the grocery store after the freeze was only partially successful.
Yeah.
I was able to find some bread at the third store I looked at, and I didn't realize it till I got home, but it smelled strongly of alcohol because the yeast in it had fermented.
Gross.
Which the internet assured me was still safe to eat, but oh my God.
As long as it's not moldy, you could eat it, but you ain't gonna like it.
Yeah, it wasn't moldy. Oh God, it was awful. Oh, it was rough.
Oh, no. Yeah. We just keep flour and salt and yeast on hand, so if we run out of bread's the easy thing.
Yeah.
It's all the other stuff that's the problem.
It is not easy for me.
Although I'll tell you what, I've been learning a lot about cooking with powdered eggs. Interesting thing to have to learn. What have you been playing?
Skill. So a handful of games. I had picked up this 3-pack on Steam of puzzle platformers.
Oh, okay.
So these are all kind of puzzle platforming games. The first one that I would. So first of all, I recommend all these games. They're all good games, and you should play them all. And they're all cheap indie games, and they're all on Steam. So they're accessible, they're affordable, and they're available. The first one is
So O with an umlaut and then 2 regular O's.
Yeah, so you play as this little like worm dude. Only his other body segments are bombs. And it's a puzzle platformer, and platforming involves jumping, except for there's no jump button.
Oh. So you got to like explode yourself. Yeah, I'm looking at the video.
Explode yourself. Yeah, so you drop a bomb and explode yourself to get across things. And it's really neat. You basically spend most of the game learning what the actual physics are, and then the later you get in the game, you'll do something and be like, "Oh, I could have done that this whole time." Oh, that was right there in front of me.
The bundle is the bite-sized puzzle exploration bundle for $14.37, and at least on US Steam if anyone's curious about the bundle.
That's so good. And then the second one is called Linelith, which is it's not really a platformer, but it is a puzzle game. It's an overhead
challenge-y.
Yeah, it's overhead. You walk around, you just draw lines, and it's pretty short, pretty simple. And at first, it felt too simple, and I had gotten like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes into the game, finished a little under half of the puzzles, and had paused it and was like, "That's okay. I don't know if I'll come back to that." And then later in the week, while I was on a Teams call at work, I jumped back into it just because it was something I could do simply in the background. And I accidentally did something. I was like, oh. And that was when the whole game clicked for me. And
you're like, I get it now.
Yes. And then I like rushed through the whole rest of the game and really enjoyed it. Yeah. But my favorite of these 3 is Leap Year. And that's the one I really wanted to talk about. So Leap Year is a puzzle platformer where your lethal fall distance is less than your standard jump. So if you
need
jump,
to always be going upward.
Well, if you jump and you hit the ground, you will die. So you have to jump to a higher platform, or you have to jump where you have low overhead so that you don't jump full height.
Yeah.
And that sounds ridiculous, and it is.
I'm watching the video. It looks ridiculous.
Oh, it's so good. Everything about this game is great. It is amazing. Like the first couple minutes of it, I was like, okay, I just kind of have to get my mind in this headspace. And by the end of it, I was like, there is no headspace for this. Everything is nonsense, and I love this. But it's so good. It is so well designed. All of the different puzzle screens and everything are just brilliant and expertly crafted. Several of them have multiple solutions on how to find how to get all the different puzzle pieces and everything. But it's just so good. It's such a good game. Highly recommended. I hope that it gets some console ports. I feel like this could be one of those ones that would really do well on Steam.
The Leap Year March DLC that adds 4 more hours of playtime.
Oh my god, it is so much harder than the standard game, but I did finally finish it. And then afterwards, I looked through the achievement list, and the March DLC has one that's beat the game in half an hour or less. And I'm like, nope, fuck that, can't do that one. But no, it's really good. Both the base game and the March DLC are very, very good. And I thought that the March DLC would just be more of the same, and I was fine with that. I was up for more of the same. And then I get about halfway into it, and I'm like, oh no, we've added stuff. Oh, this is different.
Yeah.
So it's good, very good.
How fun.
Yeah.
Let's do the news, Saturn.
Okay.
Retrobox releases a non-CRT combo VCR that everyone seems to think is a CRT. Now, the news is pretty light this week. It looks like we only got like 10 items. So I want to talk about this for a minute.
Yep.
Because there was immediately a good amount of buzz. And I understand why. Because when you look at it, it looks like a little 13-inch combo VCR CRT. Which
is cute.
That's cute. And they come in a bunch of colors, which is cute.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
It's not
First of all, it's not a CRT inside of there.
Yeah, it's just an
what
LCD
it is an LCD and what looked like harvested VCR parts stuffed into a box that I'm not 100% sure isn't 3D printed.
Oof.
I don't think it is, but I'm not fully convinced. This is made by a very young husband and wife duo.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I can tell, is their first product.
Okay.
And
it seems to be marketed not towards game players, but specifically towards people who just want to watch a VHS tape.
Yes. And I went and I was looking at, I couldn't look at much of it because I don't have a Facebook account. Right, but the only place that they really have put stuff is on Instagram and Facebook, which is already a red flag.
Yeah.
But they have these things where, like, I shared some screenshots, and it's just videos of, like, the husband holding a tape, and he's like, there used to be these things called VHS tapes, and they contained a whole movie. And I was just like, this is so... like,
Remember when we all just called them video cassettes?
Yeah, you know what gets me? I know that this is pedantic asshole territory.
Yeah.
When people call it a VHS player.
Oh, God, I hate it. It makes me so upset.
I'm like, you mean a VCR? We had a name for it, and it was VCR. Yep. And Courtney's always like, it is a VHS player. It does play VHSs. And
correct,
like,
but
true,
nobody called it that.
But nobody called it that. We all called it a VCR.
Yes.
Anyway.
That's what it is. Anyway.
My issue is this. It's just a flat screen, a low-resolution flat screen TV inside, probably new old stock from some other old product that they got cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Put on the inside, and they've put some kind of filter over the front of it that gives it some kind of bloom. As far as I can tell, that's what it is. And it, like you said, it's very much marketed toward like, hey, do you remember VHS tapes? These things that are go into a VHS player and they contain a whole movie and you can own your media. Well, you can have. It seems more like a cute kind of art thing that someone would have on their kitchen counter. You know what I mean? Than like an actual enthusiast electronic device.
Yeah, it doesn't feel very enthusiast at all from what I've seen.
The scaler in it, because I read some Facebook comments. He was talking about in one of the videos about, like, he showed the insides, and it's just a scaler, some gutted VHS parts or VCR parts, and a flat screen TV on the inside. It looks like it probably weighs 3 pounds. And someone was like, make sure you use a good low latency scaler in it, which first of all, he's not going to. Second of all, he responded and was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I was like, ah, man, this is not, you're doing this as like it feels like the person, I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on him because again, this is very much like it plays VHS tapes. Isn't that cute? That's all they've marketed it as. They're not trying to say it's a gaming thing or anything like that. So, you know, credit where it's due.
Yeah.
But there are communities that are trying to latch onto this and be like, it's the new CRT for gaming. It's not that.
No, it's not that.
It's not going to have a good scaler in it. It's just, I'm sorry. this is like a cute novelty thing that you
Right.
get. This is like those like $30 record players you get at
Yep.
Target. Like, yes, it does play records. Is it the best way to play a record?
No.
Definitely not. There are definitely better ways to play a record, which is what old people called what everyone else calls vinyls now for some reason.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Yeah.
It's $500.
Oh my God.
No, pardon me. It's $400.
Good Lord.
$400. Comes in a bunch of colors. They're all sold out. As far as I know, there is not a single one. But what gets me is like about the creators, we are college students and newlyweds. And I'm like, man, you don't know what you're getting into. But they'll sell you a bundle. They'll sell you a bundle for $425 that comes with, this is what it says. Retrobox VHS bundle, $425. You can pick your color. This is the description. The same retro box, but comes with 5 authentic signature VHS tapes, randomly selected.
Oh God.
Let me tell you, you can go to Half Price Books and get 5 authentic signature VHS tapes for $1.25.
Not everybody has a Half Price Books near them, though.
True.
But you probably have some thrift store that has a giant stack of VHS tapes.
And I'm like, man, it's just for $400, you could get a decent secondhand VCR and just a cheapo scaler and hook it up to your flat screen TV. Like, no, it's not in a cute little box, and I get that that's some of the appeal, but it's just for what it is and for what they're marketing it as. I think they're a little kind of up their own butt about it, a little pretentious about it. But they're just like, look, it plays these VHS tapes. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot of people that buy this and hook up a Super Nintendo, and they're like, why isn't this working right? Why is this bad?
Yeah.
And the answer is going to be because it's not supposed to do that. But it does have an HDMI port on the front. I don't fucking know what that's for. Like, is that an input? Yes, it is. Inputs, HDMI, composite, S-video, component.
Huh.
So it's got inputs. I don't know, man. I just want to talk about it for a minute because it's already made the rounds, and as soon as one comes out, it's going to make the rounds again. And what's going to happen is it's going to come out, and there's going to be a bunch of TikTok reels or whatever you call them on TikTok of people with this thing that looks sort of CRT-esque, calling it a new CRT, and it's just not that. Just prepare for that to happen, and it's going to be annoying, and you're going to have to be that annoying person that's like, actually. And you don't. We both did the same voice too.
Oh, we were prepared for it. we were born with the actually gene. We know how to do that.
So I don't want to sound like I'm shitting all over these people. This could be a great product. It doesn't seem like it's worth $400 to me. But I'm also, I would say an old technology enthusiast.
Right.
So I just don't think it's for me. But I am excited at the idea that the market seems excited at something that looks like an old dinky CRT. That's cool. And I hope that this shows some of the people who are able to make real enthusiast devices that like, hey, there's people willing to pay for this.
But not enough people.
We'll see. I have no idea what their run is.
Not enough people to make all the money in the world.
This is true, but maybe some of the smaller companies and creators, the Rad2X's, the Mike Cheese of the world, the Retro Game Cables UK, Castlemania, these smaller outlets and places and stores and creators that maybe
enthusiasts.
I don't know. Enthusiasts.
Yeah, I do fear because making a full ass CRT is expensive.
It is, especially because we just don't. The reason they used to be so cheap is because we manufactured them at scale, and I think people forget what scale really means for that kind of thing, and it means that it's real fucking cheap,
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to talk about it for a minute because whenever they start coming out, we're going to start seeing it again, and people are going to be like, oh my God, have you guys seen this new CRT? And you're going to have to, no, actually. Anyway, Steam's AI disclosure form has changed to no longer cover AI used during development.
Now, specifically, they said that you still have to disclose any customer-facing AI.
Which, here's the thing about that. One, I don't like that went away, but also, from what I'm hearing in the industry, literally every company is forcing everyone to
Yep.
use AI in some way. So it would basically make the label meaningless
Exactly. Yeah.
if suddenly 95% of all games on Steam had it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What I would prefer is if they made a second label that's like developed with AI, and then another one that's like customer facing AI assets, right? But I get why they did it, but also I don't like that it happened.
Yeah, I don't like anything about the whole situation, but I do
No.
feel that eventually it would just end up crowding out so much other detail that's needed in the market. And it would just be like the entire page would end up being AI disclosure forms. So I can see why they would want to draw some lines somewhere.
Right. When everything has a warning label, nobody reads the warnings.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hard drive prices have surged 46% in the last 4 months. Man, I'm glad that like 6 months ago I bought 32 terabytes of hard drive space.
And you know, it's still not quite the spike that we've seen in RAM
Memory,
and NAND flash, but it's still a sizable spike. And I feel bad for anybody who's trying to get a computer right now. I feel like I have never bought something at the right time as much as I did buying a computer last year. That is the most timely purchase I've ever made in my life. I am not used to lucking out like that.
This is my tinfoil hat theory, but I truly believe that this is big tech. I believe that they're leaning into this as hard as they can because they no longer want us to own computers to make their AI seem useful.
Now, on the one hand, I agree with that. I do fear that that's what they're trying to do. On the other hand, there's all these other tech manufacturers that are consumer-facing manufacturers that all they make is the computer parts, and they are also getting fucked in this.
That's true.
And so I don't blame them, but I fear that they will also end up being casualties of all this.
Yeah. Like when, what is it? Microsoft CEO came out and said that we need to find a use for AI or we'll no longer be socially allowed to use so much resources for it.
Right. Yeah. He maybe they should have thought of that before.
I'm just imagining the use being no one can afford a computer. You might as well ask Copilot to do stuff for you from your phone. No. Ugh. Bite me. I have so many old computers lying around.
Right.
I'm good. I'm good for a while.
I'm stocked up for a little bit.
Microsoft will be adding a free ad-supported cloud gaming tier. Shocking nobody. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be too upset, but also like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice for people who don't have the hardware. I will say that.
Sure. I'll say I'm not upset that more people are going to have access.
Right.
I am annoyed to see Microsoft doing more ad-supported stuff because they are a company
and more cloud-supported stuff.
Yeah, that we pay money to for products. Yes. We give you the money and you give us the products. Is how it used to be.
Yeah, I missed that.
Ubisoft canceled the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake because fuck cool stuff. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And surprisingly, they did not cancel Beyond Good and Evil 2 yet. That's been in development hell for like
we were talking about that the
other
day in Discord. Yes, still allegedly in development.
Yeah,
one day.
But yeah, it's a whole bunch of Ubisoft games got canceled all at once, and that was one of them. But it does feel weird that would be one of them. That felt like of the Ubisoft games, that was the only one I was hearing any real hype for.
Right. That's just, I mean, even if it's just competent, it seems like it'd be a slam dunk. That for people who don't remember at the time, because I feel like Sands of Time is talked about a lot less. It was a really big hit when it came out.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was basically just a revival of Ubisoft as a company.
Yeah, it was huge for them, huge in the media. Like it was a big deal. I feel like there's a strange amount of big properties from that specific era in gaming that are kind of like Beautiful Joe's another one that springs to mind from this era of like the early aughts where we just kind of have forgotten about them, and it's like no, they were really big at the time.
Oh yeah.
Anbernic has reduced the RAM on the RG34XX SP from 2 gigabytes to 1 gigabyte, presumably because of manufacturing costs. But
this
also
is what happens when I try to do the news while talking to you guys.
Has recited the RAM.
My fingers will be hearing things you guys are saying and not type what my brain is thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I don't know that they've changed the price. I think the price is the
No,
same. You're
they've
just
not.
getting less for the same price, which isn't that just
It's a shame.
how things work now.
Yeah.
Kensuke Tanabe and Hideki Kono have both announced their retirement from Nintendo. So
we're gonna see more and more of this. It's that we have reached the point where the people who made our games of our childhood are honestly, many of them are past retirement age and have just been pushing on anyway. But we're just gonna keep seeing it.
Yeah. So I wish them a happy retirement.
Indeed.
Glad to see that they get to exit in a good spot. I'll say that. And finally, Banjo-Kazooie has been recompiled for PC, so you people out there that like that game can go play it. I don't think any of those people are here right now.
Nope, none of them are here right now.
Just to make people angry. That's why I phrased it that way. Yep. I felt bad. We were talking about Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and read-along, and someone in the chat was like, I'm ready to fight you guys over this. I'm going to fight you. I was like, no, I mean, it's good.
No, it's not. It's not. I'll throw it out there. Don't care for Star Wars. Don't care for that game. Fuck it.
No, I never loved Banjo. I never. Banjo was one that, like, it's not that, because a lot of games I'll play and I'm like, I get it. I don't love it. It's not my thing, but like, I get it. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't get Banjo. I don't. I really don't get it. I'm like,
I've tried it many times and it just does not click for me. It is not my kind of thing at all.
I just don't. I don't get it.
Really, I don't like that whole N64 era of platforming.
Yeah, that kind of like early-ish 3D, poor camera control, collectathon platformer. I get it, but it's. I don't know. Banjo, I didn't get. Anyway, it's been recompiled for PC. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad that the people that want Banjo can have Banjo.
Yes,
and I suspect
if it's recompiled for PC, that means it can probably be recompiled for other platforms relatively easy. So,
and I think we're going to see some really cool versions of Banjo from this, the same way we did Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, maybe one of them will be worth playing.
Oof! Shots fired. People are going to really fight us now,
right?
Which brings us to our topic at hand. Speaking of people fighting us, which is Magical Drop.
Yay.
All of the magical drops ever made.
Yeah.
All at once.
Series overview.
Synopsis, some weird money puzzle exchanger clone.
That's what it is.
Release info, developed by and published by Data East, originally localized as Chain Reaction, though sequels and later releases reverted to the original Japanese name.
Which was probably the correct decision.
Yeah. First game came out in arcades in Japan, June 95, in North America, November 95. It was also ported to Super Famicom, Saturn, PlayStation. They were all Japan exclusive ports. As far as first encounters, I got my Neo Geo because I saw it in a music video that a YouTuber made. That's why I bought my stand-up 4-slot MVS Neo Geo. I was like,
there are a few things you've said on the show that have made me feel as old as that.
I knew of the Neo Geo. I had heard of the Neo Geo. But there's this video on YouTube, and I was like, that thing looks really cool. I've heard Neo Geo, but that's a Neo Geo? And then, looking it up, obviously, it's like I knew that there was a home console Neo Geo, but for whatever reason, I'd never realized the arcade and the home console are the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah, and you'd played Metal Slug plenty of times by then.
Oh, yeah, I'd played Metal Slug. I was just like, oh, it's an arcade game.
Right.
I wasn't like, oh, it's the same as that home hardware that no one owned. Like, I had no idea. Yeah. So when I got into Neo Geo at that time, which was, God, I'm trying to think of when that was. That would have been...
Monday?
Would have been 2011-ish?
Okay, yeah.
I think, let's see, what year was I married? Oh, that's tough. I shouldn't not know that on the air. I know what year I was married. I'm just not going to... I was married in 2014. So I think it would have been 2011-ish, 2012-ish. When I was exploring Neo Geo like as a platform, I picked up my big red MVS, and I had never played Magical Drop, and it was just kind of in a list I never had a cartridge for it, so I never had it on my Neo Geo, but I came across it and played it, and I was like, this is great. This is a great game.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, I never encountered Magical Drop in the arcade. I did play quite a few MVS machines. I remember playing a shitload of Fatal Fury 2.
Yeah.
But I never encountered Magical Drop or Chain Reaction in the arcade. It was probably when I was messing around with MAME in the late 90s or some Neo Geo emulator, one or the other.
Yeah, MAME
back
was
when
kind of
those were
sketch
separate.
on Neo Geo for a while.
A minute.
Depending on which version you were on, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, prior to that, there was a separate Neo Geo emulator that seemed to handle it a little bit better.
Yeah, a little. It
Yeah.
worked,
Right,
but it
yeah.
wasn't awesome.
in the same way that for a little while there, Final Burn was the only real way to play Capcom games,
Right,
it just
yeah.
handled them better than MAME did, and
Than MAME,
eventually MAME figured it out. But during that era, I had just played with a shitload of random arcade ROMs, just a bunch of jumping around, and that's probably when I first encountered Magical Drop, and thinking that it was neat and cute, and then immediately forgot about it for years until I started playing with more Neo Geo games.
Right. Step us through development of Magical Drop. And to be clear, you did say series overview. We are going to be basically covering the first 3 games, kind of skipping the 4th game, and the 5th and 6th games came out years later.
Yeah.
So really, it's just kind of Magical Drops 1 through 3.
Yeah, we're really just talking about the Data East Magical Drop series.
Right, yeah,
in general.
specifically.
Just a general series overview, kind of, not anything super, super specific.
Yeah,
because they are very samey games.
Yeah, I was going to say, as will become evident, kind of the same game 6 times. Not in a mean way, just in the same way that Tetris is kind of always sort of Tetris.
Yeah. I mean, there are variants and there's little changes here and there, but it's generally
even
the
Tetris
same
isn't a great comparison because there are a huge variation in Tetris games too.
Right.
I
imagine if there were as many Magical Drop games as there are Tetris games, it would also have similar variety.
Yeah.
But
anyway, development.
Yeah. So. Data East, mostly known at the time for brawlers and mediocre fighting games.
Really good brawlers like, maybe name some, I don't know, like Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja possibly would be a great, awesome arcade game that they made. Karnov was also a game. Yeah.
Burger Time.
Burger Time? I hate Burger Time.
I love Burger Time so fucking much. You take that back.
Anyway. I hate Burger Time and I hate Tapper. I fucking hate them both.
How fucking dare you? Man, I love Tapper.
I don't know why either. I play them and I'm like, they make me mad. I'm like, I hate this game. I don't even understand it. I don't get it. Maybe I just hate food-based games. I don't know. I have no idea.
So Data East, we're trying to break into the more casually puzzly market because they saw that was making a lot of money in arcades,
right?
And they wanted in on that. And as all good developers do, when they wanted inspiration to make their upcoming puzzle game, they bought an MS-DOS CD-ROM compilation of Russian puzzle games.
Credit where credit's due.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of Tetris
not the worst
Russia.
approach. Yeah.
So maybe they're like, hey, maybe there's some other crazy puzzle games coming out of Russia. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. So they got this CD-ROM collection called Moscow Nights. I was trying to find the actual collection. And I could not find it. I'm guessing it is a Japanese specific collection.
Yeah.
Of Russian games because that's how it goes. And one of the games that was in the set was a game called Drop Drop. Made by, I couldn't figure out if it was the company name or the programmer's name, but it was something named Russ, which just sounds like some dude's first name, but it doesn't sound like a Russian dude's first name, so I'm not sure.
It also makes me wonder if maybe it was just cut off and it was like Russia something, you know what I mean?
Right, maybe, I don't know, but
just Russ from Russia. Yeah, Russ in 92. That's all we know. That's it.
And just imagine a bar full of Russian dudes, and they all have like the stereotypical Russian names. And then over there is just some dude from Minnesota named Russ.
For whatever reason, Russ always makes me think of Russ from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, that guy.
The one son's name, Russ.
Yeah, it's that kid from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids living in Russia.
Yeah, he made it. 1992, he made Drop Drop when he was in Russia, programming MS-DOS games.
So I also found a quote from somebody at Data East, one of the developers, the development manager of Magical Drop, a guy named Takashi Kobayashi. His review of Drop, even though the game is nearly identical to what would become Drop, he called it, quote, amateurish and uninteresting. And that was enough for them to license the game and make Magical Drop out of it.
You know what? I'll say this too. Not every company would have actually gone through the trouble of licensing it back then.
Agreed. Yeah.
They would have just been like, nah, we made it's our own. It's ours.
That was the part that surprised me, is that they actually licensed it. Yeah, they contact this dude or company. I'm not sure.
They called Russ from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Called up Russ.
Is Russ there? Are his chores done?
Can he come home from Russia yet? And so they licensed the game. They added in combos, more randomization, and of course anime characters, which is the important part that makes the game Japanese. And later on, I believe it was after the first game or after the second game, they purchased the rights to the game outright from Russ to avoid any future licensing, so if they didn't have to deal with that anymore, they could just own the game outright, which makes sense.
Sure.
And so it is largely Drop with an added 2-player mode and combos, and anime characters. And then the characters' designs themselves were all loosely based on tarot cards because they thought that would make it appeal to women. It's really weird when you go back and read so many of these old development information about arcade games. They all wanted to appeal to women, and it seems none of them had ever met a woman.
What do women like? Well, anime characters with big tits, I think.
Yeah.
Can we
And
put some of those in
tarot.
there? Women love that, and tarot cards. So
Yeah.
perfect. That's it. That's the winning combo.
Well, between stuff like this and Bubble Bobble and what was it? Oh, Miss Pac-Man was another one where when you read about how they're trying to appeal to women and the way they were doing it is just it's like they were treating women like they were an alien species.
You know, to be fair, cute anime characters in tarot, that's sort of the, not far from like the Sailor Moon aesthetic, and
That's fair.
That was supposed to appeal to women. Everyone I knew that ever watched it was men.
Right.
But
well, my girlfriend was so into Sailor Moon in high
neither
school.
here nor there.
I was obsessed. Anyway.
I did throw in here because I didn't know this. The first Magical Drop was developed for Data East Simple 156 arcade hardware, which is also the hardware used by Joe and Mac Returns, the handful of other titles that nobody remembers because people barely even remember Joe and Mac Returns.
People barely remember Data East these days.
We should do an episode on Data East. We could talk about Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja, and then we did.
I think we did.
We didn't. No, we've done too many of these. I think we're just running out of. At some point, we need to say, "Hey, everything we did before doesn't count anymore because we're running out of stuff. We've done everything."
Retro Warriors Volume 2.
I mean, we've done fucking Valis for crying. We've done everything. No, there's nothing left. Obviously, subsequent Data East developed games would start on the Neo Geo hardware after the first game, but I didn't realize the first one was not also originally developed for the Neo Geo. So I found that interesting.
Yeah, it was back in January of 2023, so 3 years ago now is when we did Data East.
My God. Yeah. That's relatively recent.
Yeah.
Wonder if it was a good episode. This is the weird part is we'll be like, oh, we've already covered that. And I'm like, I wonder if it was good. I hope we did a good job because I don't remember it.
Yeah, we don't remember anything that happened there, so we could end up contradicting that information plenty of times.
I'm going to fire through the games here. First Magical Drop, 1995. Came out in arcade, Super Famicom, Saturn, PlayStation. Only the arcade original ever left Japan. Magical Drop 2 came out the following year. It was co-published by SNK, released on Neo Geo CD, Super Famicom, Saturn, and only the Neo Geo arcade release ever left Japan. Yep. Magical Drop 3 was the following year in 97.
They're
also
pumping them out.
Do what?
They were just pumping them out.
They were. Also co-published with SNK. Hit the Neo Geo, Saturn, PlayStation, Neo Geo Pocket Color, which is a good version. Game Boy Color, also a good version. The PC, and unfortunately the Zeebo. On the Zeebo.
Poor Zeebo.
So, arcade, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and Game Boy Color versions released in North America. Arcade, PS1, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and Game Boy Color versions released in Europe. Game Boy Color version never released in Japan, oddly enough.
Yeah, that's weird.
And Zeebo was Brazil exclusive, so still something
like
Brazil.
Most Zeebo games.
Magical Drop for Wonder Swan came out in 99, which is exclusive to the Wonder Swan. Who would have guessed?
Right.
Guessed. And then the final Data East Magical Drop is Magical Drop F Daiboken Mo Rakujanai.
Very good.
It came out in 1999. This was PS1 exclusive, only in Japan. I've seen it also called Magical Drop 4, referred to in that way. It does. I've not played this one. It does seem more pared down compared to the previous games as far as just modes and content.
Yeah, I didn't. It's too not in English for me, so I didn't.
Yeah, but this was the last one that Data East made before they dissolved in 2003. There's since been Magical Drop 5 and 6.
6, yeah.
Which are not super well received and not made by Data East. So
6 seems to be better received. It is getting similar reception to the original games.
Not poorly received, just like, it's Magical Drop.
Yeah.
Here you go. Have a good day. Let's talk presentation, because I do feel like a lot of the meat on this bone is just the presentation. So I think, this is the area in which Data East seem to have actually done the most actual work.
Well, they had to draw those anime boobs.
They did. The game itself, as you said, presents itself in like anime style characters, and they correspond to some of the major arcana from tarot cards, if you know tarot. Not all 22 of the major arcana in the first game, but by the third game, all 22 of the major arcana are represented. The enhanced version of the first game deviated from this scheme. It has just a bunch of randomly named characters that were added. But the rest have followed this suit, card pun, outside of cameos such as like the Ghost Lop characters being in Magical Drop 5.
Like Bruce?
Do what?
Like Bruce?
Yeah, like Bruce.
Yeah. He might be a Ghost Lop character. I don't know what Ghost Lop is.
He is a Ghost Lop character. He is a Ghost Lop character, yeah. But much of the general aesthetic is kind of like witchy and tarot themed, and like little tarot cards here and there. Characters are also often depicted in little cutscenes facing off against one another before their competitive matches. There's really very little in the way of any coherent story, but it's neat to see the characters kind of like, they'll run into each other and be like, oh, get out of my way, and then you do your little...
Yeah, it's very similar to the little story segments in the Puzzle Bobble games. Where
it's just a cute
little
thing.
sketch, kind of.
Yeah. And like... They're cute little anime characters, and it's neat when you see them in the cutscenes. It's like it's like a little sprite, because normally when you see them, they're like this big blown up art on the screen. Right. But then you see their little sprite version, and all the characters are they're like cute in this sort of like chibi adjacent sort of way. Some of them are a little over sexualized and increasingly overly sexualized, but not in like a way that I would be embarrassed to be seen playing the game by someone, you know what I mean?
Not until 5 and 6 anyway.
Yeah, they do. They lean that way. But the Data East games, I would say, remain relatively tasteful. If a little bit sexualized here and there.
A little risque, but not grossly inappropriate.
You see some cleavage and midriffs and stuff like that, but it's not. You're not like, oh my god, chill out. It seems to be all in good fun. I would say is the vibe I get from it. Weirdly enough, the games are all fully voiced, which I didn't look this up, but it has to make them some of the only pure puzzle games to have a voice cast, I would imagine.
Puzzle Bobble.
Puzzle Bobble, yeah. I was trying to think of like voiced puzzle games. There can't be many.
Did Dr. Mario 64 have voices?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't play 64.
I think it did, but it's been a while.
Yeah. But it's got, like multiple characters, like a voice cast. It's not just like but like several. And then they never really have any lines. There's not much dialogue. They're just like, oh, or when you start the match, the lady's like, get ready.
Yeah.
But it's just weird. Aesthetically, they did put in a decent amount of production value, especially compared to puzzle games of the era.
Yeah.
I did notice, for some fucking reason, the artwork made for the game, like the key art, used horrifying 3D models that are ugly and not at all in line with the game's aesthetic. Like, the whole game has a really cute sort of pop art, anime, witchy aesthetic, which is really, iconic to the Magical Drop series and really cool to look at. And then for the art, they use these fugly-ass 3D models for some reason.
It was the thing at the time, man. A bunch of games did this for no good reason.
I can't even tell who some of the characters are.
Yeah.
It's just fucking weird. It's weird as hell.
It is ugly as shit, though.
They seemed to have dropped it after the first game, although I didn't look at a lot of key art for the later games. But I think this was just the first game that did this, and it was bad, very bad.
Yeah, at first I thought it was just for the Western release of it too, but it's also on Japanese art material.
Yeah, it's in Japan too, and they had other art that presumably was for the arcade marquees or something. It's really bad art.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's terrible. But presentation here pulls a lot of weight in the game because it really gives it kind of it
gives it its personality.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's talk gameplay.
Yes.
Now, Saturn, I need to correct you. You called them bubbles, which is ridiculous. They're balloons.
Oh, my mistake.
Okay, in Magical Drop, arguably balloons.
Then why can't I just get a needle?
They're also referred to as bubbles and I think gems, depending on what you're looking at. But colored balloons descend from the top of the screen in rows, and there's a little jester character that runs along the bottom of the screen and can grab balloons, but they all have to be the same color. So if you grab a blue, you can only grab blues.
Right, until you throw them.
Right, and then the grabbed balloons can then be shot back in a stacked row, and you want to match the colors up. So if with 3 or more of the same color connected, they all pop. Any balloons underneath shift upward into the screen.
Yep.
And chain reactions can form, causing like more pops where you get, big combos.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, the final boss in the games is a little evil version of the jester from the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
He's in like a little black suit. I forget his name. It's it's a Japanese word. I don't know what it is. But I always thought that was a really cute
it's
touch. There is competitive play. In the first game, there was only competitive play until the enhanced version that came out and released a little bit later, where I believe they added a non-competitive play, where it's just puzzle mode. But in competitive play, chaining 2 or more sets of balloons will cause an attack on the other player to drop a specific pattern of balloons according to the characters that are chosen at the time. You can get special balloons, which they have a specific type and color, so it'll be a special balloon of a specific color. So when you pop the special balloon that is green, then all of the green balloons on the screen will pop all at once, which often creates large combo chains.
Right.
Which does create kind of an interesting dynamic within the game where you when you get those combos, you try to wait until your screen gets real low to pop them, because then there's more of that color on screen to pop at a time.
All at once, yeah.
Yeah, so it does create sort of this strategic layer of like trying to...
It's a risk-reward system.
Yeah, risk-reward system where you want to delay that as much as possible to get as big of a combo as possible. Because if you pop it right away, it might only pop 1 or 2 other balloons depending on your screen layout. Depending on the game mode and the game that you're playing, players are sometimes able to wrap around left to right on the playing field. You can do it in competitive mode. You can do it in some of the puzzle modes. It does change the strategy quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because you
it makes
no
it
longer
feel easier too.
It does feel a little easier. But also I always forget that I can do it when I'm playing the modes that allow me to, and I just don't. I don't do it. So the original had the competitive mode. They added the single player mode later. The second game introduced survival mode and flash mode. Survival mode is kind of as it sounds. It's you survive as long as you can. Flash mode is like I forget what they call it in Tetris games, but it gives you like a filled in field and you have to solve it with a timer. Like the field's already done.
Like the B-type in NES Tetris?
Yeah, like that, where it's like it's already filled in and you have to be as efficient as possible to clear it in time.
Fair.
The third game introduces an adventure mode, Magical Journey mode, which puts you on like a board game track, and you land on these different spaces, and the distance that you're able to move depends on your performance in the puzzles. So if you do really good, you can move multiple spaces. If you do shitty like me, you move 1 space every fucking time. So it's that instead of dice rolls. And then you'll move along this track, and sometimes it deviates and you can pick, top or bottom. And the different spaces on the track determine the types of puzzles you have. So you might have a puzzle where it has like clear bubbles that you can't pick up, but will be cleared if things next to them are cleared. And so they kind of block out your puzzle, or your puzzle will be super extra wide. There's just a lot of different variations and versions that it can have in that, which is a really cool mode. And kind of the only mode of Magical Drop that really substantially changes the game itself in any way that I've ever played. But at the same time, it's still Magical Drop.
Yeah.
Like gameplay wise, the series through the first 3 games at least never seems to particularly deviate from the standard gameplay. They add little bits here and there, but nothing really changes much. Like if you've played a Magical Drop, you've virtually played them all.
Yeah.
Almost as if Data East didn't have very many good puzzle ideas to begin with, and just kind of bought the one that they thought looked cool from a guy named Russ. And,
it is. It's kind of the downside of a lot of puzzle games, because you encounter that same kind of issue with Puzzle Bobble, with Dr. Mario, with a lot of those where you get excited that there is another game in the series and you play it and it's just more of that game, and then you end up questioning, like, well, what did I really want? What more did I want out of this?
This was already a complete idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a problem with the puzzle game genre in general a lot of the time, but it's as far as the experience of playing Magical Drop, because we played the Super Nintendo version via Nintendo Switch Online a little bit, just to play it together and do some competitive playing and play for the show. And it's I think it's Magical Drop 2 is the version on NSO.
I think so.
And we played, I don't know, 10, 15 rounds, and we were like, yep, that's Magical Drop.
That was it. That was the game.
Let's go do something else now. Like it is an extremely fast puzzle game. You very much live and die by how quickly you act in Magical Drop. It's not a thinking man's game. It is a reacting man's game.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at Magical Drop, specifically because when I play games like Tetris Attack or Puzzle League or Panel to Pawn or whatever we want to call it, as well as games like Dr. Mario and whatnot, you can kind of plot out in advance where your chains or combos are going to be, and you can you can play yourself out so that you can line them all up and then do the one move and it just executes all of them. Whereas Magical Drop really wants you to do things quickly in succession. Like it wants you to do one move followed by the next move followed by the next move to do your chain in pattern rather than in planning.
Yeah.
And my brain does not work for that, I have learned.
What I like about it, and this is the thing we both experienced playing, where you'll be playing Magical Drop, and what it is it like, it's not a particularly hard game. Like if there was no time limit, it'd be the easiest game in the universe.
Sure, yeah.
It'd be like speed tic-tac-toe. You're like, yeah, this is the easiest, of course, But when you add a certain level of speed to it, you're like, oh, my fucking brain can't go this fast. And what I enjoy is when I'm playing it, and you're going, and all of a sudden you'll just literally stop and stand there and be like, because your brain is just like, I can't do it anymore.
Yep.
And then you crash out and you're like, oh, I just fucking, I don't know, my brain just stopped having thoughts and I just stood there and died.
I had 20 moves left and I didn't know what any of it was.
Like, I like that. That's fun to me. It's kind of this like a mental stamina thing rather than mental power, I guess, is a good way to put it. But it's fast and twitchy for sure. You don't really have opportunity to line much up ever, just kind of the way the game works. Because you're doing everything vertically, you have no real horizontal control. And again, with unlimited time, and I'm sure like competitive players have ways to line up big stuff, but for like casual players like us, it's just too fast. It's too fast.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the competitive Magical Drop players to listen to this episode and be like, "Oh, listen to these idiots,
you fucking morons!" Yeah, no, I'm sure that's the case.
Yeah.
Speaking of competitive, Magical Drop 3 is considered the best kind of amongst fans and does have its own competitive metagame that has formed around it. So if you are a competitive puzzle type player and this does sound like your jam, then Magical Drop 3 is the one to focus on. That's the one that seems to have the most interest from the Magical Drop community.
Yeah, sometimes
one.
when games like this have this relatively niche competitive scene.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's actually no game there and they're just mocking the rest of us. If like they all discovered that it is a solved game and it was relatively quick and it was not nearly as in depth as they lead us all to believe.
Right.
But
and they just kick our asses because it's solved and they know the answer and they won't share it.
Exactly. Yeah. I sometimes wonder that.
I kind of hope. You know what? If it's the Magical Drop 3 community pulling that prank, I'm gonna let them have it. I don't care.
Yeah, you have it.
Y'all can have it.
You don't have to ruin the kayfabe for us. Just keep kicking our ass.
But it is a very fast game, and it's one of those games where I find it. I don't want to say exhausting because that sounds negative, but I find it exhausting in a good way. Where
mentally draining.
Thing, yeah, I get the same thing. I feel the same way playing tournament fighting games. Like I can play 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 rounds of a tournament fighting game, but then I'm like, all right, we got to do something else. I gotta stop thinking this quickly and moving my hands this quickly. I need a break, just a physical and mental break from the rapid decision making I'm having to make right now.
Yeah.
And it's even worse in Money Idol Exchange.
I love that game so much.
It's a very fun game. Also, it's on Arcade Archives on Switch.
Yep.
And that one, the whole time I'm just screaming. I'm like, my brain, it can't.
For people who haven't played Money Puzzle Exchange, which we've memed about a little bit on the show in the past because I love that game. It's just Magical Drop, but with math, and I love it.
Because what did Magical Drop need on top of it? Math. Let's add speed math on top of Magical Drop. It is surprisingly fun. It's very fun, and I love how different it still feels.
Yeah, it does feel
because
different.
of the math. It's very interesting. And sometimes my brain will go into Magical Drop mode, and it doesn't work. Puzzle. You're just like, oh shit, that's not working anymore, and then you die because, of course,
it'll work if you have enough space.
True, that's true. If it's a nice slow game, you can get there. But it is kind of like my go-to like speedy puzzle game when I'm wanting that and I will say I really love the Neo Geo Pocket Color version of it. I'm not sure what it is or why it is. I think I've talked about it before. It's just there's just less shit happening. This is kind of one of those games. There's a lot of shit happening on the screen. Especially in competitive mode, there's little characters and it's talking to you, and and whenever you're pulling the balloons and it's like yelling at you, and you're like, oh my god. And the Neo Geo Pocket Color game is just a lot simpler and a lot cleaner. So if maybe you're like, hey, Magical Drop is cool, but like my dumb like lizard brain can't handle this much stimulation.
Yeah.
Then the Game Boy Color version is good too. But both those are real good.
And really, everything is better with a Neo Geo Pocket Color's clicky stick.
This is true. I do like playing with the clicky stick.
Better with that.
I do like that. I'm still trying to pick up the cartridge for that one to play on my analog because it's about $100 for the Japanese version. The US version is maybe triple that.
Holy shit!
It is a hard to come
by. That's
by.
A flash cart kind of game.
Yeah, Neo Geo 1. Fortunately, Neo Geo Pocket Color flash carts are also really expensive and not very functional.
Yeah.
So anyway, Saturn, tell us about reception for
it wasn't super well beloved.
Oh no.
But it was some of the games like it seems to have gotten like average middling scores for the most part, which seems standard for puzzle games of that era. You just didn't see super highly well received puzzle games during the late 90s. It wasn't the time for it.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted their games to be more hardcore. Yeah, it was the time for Clax because it was the 90s. We had to finish Clax before we could get to any of the others, and we just couldn't.
It was almost the millennium, and we weren't done with Clax. And
yeah, we still had time for that. Next Gen gave the original arcade release 2 out of 5.
Oof.
With this quote, it's not brilliant nor innovative, certainly not new, but it's fun and as addictive as sex after lunch in a jester suit. What does that mean?
How is that a fucking 2 out of... Okay, if you didn't know the score and you said, Justin, how good is that game? And I said, it's addictive as sex. Would you guess 2 out of 5?
I would not. No.
No, you'd be like, I don't know, 11 out of 5. What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know what any of this means. It's just the most baffling review.
Also,
Anyway.
it's not brilliant or innovative or new. I think it's, at the time, it was kind of all of those. It's not like it's a clone of, I mean, it is a clone. It's not a clone of a well-known game.
Also, Famitsu gave it a 25 out of 40. Excuse me. Mean Machine Sega gave it an 84 out of 100 on Saturn. That's better.
I think that's about where it is. Yeah.
The Super Famicom version got a 9 out of 10 from something, so that might be a little high. So it's very mixed, middling reviews. Like some were a little under average, others were relatively high. So it seems mixed reception, I'd say. The arcade releases, however, were regularly among the most successful machines of the month upon their release in Japan. So it did seem to get, it at least got good traffic. People wanted to play it. It just wasn't exciting enough to really get the interest of reviewers, which is average for the genre at the time.
That, I don't know, man, that feels real low.
Yeah.
And it just, it's like, it's a pretty damn good game. Are we out of touch? Or is it the children who are wrong?
As somebody who was a big falling block puzzle enthusiast at the time, it was not my favorite. So I could see where some of these reviews were coming from.
I guess. Take us through the post Data East titles really quickly, just to kind of touch on them. I do have some Data East trivia. Magical Drop wasn't only their last Magical Drop game, it was their last arcade game.
That's
that they
sad.
ever made. It was Data East's last arcade game. They ended on a high, possibly one of the best arcade games ever made, Magical Drop 3.
Well, that's not saying a lot for Data East.
I don't know why you have to be so hateful. I was looking at their arcade. I mean, what else do we got that's better than that? Night Slashers is pretty good.
That's pretty all right.
Yep.
Fighters History.
Scrolling
happens.
through here. What do we got? Act Fancer, Cybernetic Hyper Weapon. Heavy Barrel.
Yeah, that was a game.
It's a Ikari Warriors clone.
Yeah.
Peter Pepper's Ice Cream Factory. I probably hate it. It's a food-based game.
Well, it's a spinoff of Burger Time. You would hate it.
I would hate it then.
Yeah, Peter Pepper was the main character in Burger Time.
Bump and Jump.
Oh, yeah, Bump and Jump happened. Yeah, I remember Bump and Jump.
Yeah, so anyway, Magical Drop 3 is the best arcade game they ever made. They went out on a high note.
Yeah, so that's something. So then, 20-ish years later, more Magical Drop happened. So you got Magical Drop 5, which is developed by a French studio called Golgoth. And it was published by UTV Ignition Entertainment,
I know
who licensed it from Marvelous, who is now the rights holder of Data East Library.
Yeah.
It was released on Steam in November 2012 and delisted in 2020. They had announced Xbox Live Arcade and PSN releases, but they never came out. The publisher, Ignition Entertainment, was officially dissolved by Walt Disney India, who purchased Ignition Entertainment in January of 2012, 10 months before the game was released. So it's really a shock that it ever even came out to begin with, much less that it stayed on the market for 8 years.
Yeah.
I have this in my Steam library. I don't know how, because I don't remember buying it. It might just be the demo, because when I open it, it asks me to unlock the full game, but then it also lets me play it as much as I want. And I can play entirely through the game and finish the arcade mode. So I don't know what the demo was. I can unlock achievements in it, all that. But it really wants me to buy the full game that I can't buy anymore. If I try to click buy the full game, it completely crashes Steam entirely. I have to kill Steam and relaunch it. And like you mentioned, it has the characters from that Ghost Lop game in it. And when you play them, it plays that game instead of Magical Drop. So you're suddenly playing a Puzzle Bobble clone. Yeah. Versus other characters playing Magical Drop, which is so weird, because it still lets you aim left right like a Puzzle Bobble clone would, but you can also move left or right like in Magical Drop, and you have to hold the stick in those directions to do that. It's just a very awkward control scheme. Don't like it at all. But you can play as Bruce.
There you go.
Then you have Magical Drop 6, which is the most recent one. It was developed by Highball Games and Storm Trident, and it was published by Forever Entertainment, again under license from Marvelous. Forever Entertainment we might recognize from their remakes of Panzer Dragoon and House of the Dead and Front Mission, as well as the recent Switch port of Donkey Kong Country Returns. So they've done some stuff. They are contributing to the old games market.
Yeah.
It was originally released on Steam and Switch in April 2023. It's since been ported to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X and S in 2024.
I want to get it, but it's like $30. I'm like, $30 for Magical Drop.
That's a bit steep, but
it
does seem to be getting much better reviews.
I looked up UTV Ignition because they sounded so familiar, and they've done a huge amount of the home console ports of SNK stuff.
Yeah.
PS2 King of Fighters, Metal Slug Advance, Metal Slug 3 on PlayStation and Xbox, all that stuff. Also, correction, I think I said earlier that Magical Drop 3 was the last Data East Magical Drop game. It wasn't. The PlayStation was one.
The PlayStation
it was just their last arcade game. So minor correction.
Yeah.
As far as Legacy, it's still well remembered in my household. I enjoy it, even if Next Generation hated it, but also finds it more addictive than post-lunch sex. Maybe what they're saying is after lunch, sex isn't fun because you're bloated from eating all that lunch.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't understand.
But they also called it fun and addictive.
I don't get it.
Know.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. We did get Money Puzzle Exchanger. Was Money Puzzle Exchanger, was that Data East?
No, that's made by Face.
It was not. It was just literally a clone. They just cloned the shit.
They just straight up cloned it. And I believe that company went out of business shortly after they released it.
Oh, no.
So it is, I mean, it's not a complete loss since the Hamster was able to obtain the rights to re-release it. So it's still out there. But the developer themselves, I believe, went out of business shortly after its release.
Yeah, I was just looking. Face. They don't even have a Wikipedia article. It's just it. It says it's similar to Magical Drop, Astro Pop, and Puzzle Bobble.
Yeah, similar is carrying a lot of
carrying a lot of weight there. Yeah. As far as final thoughts, I love Magical Drop. I think it's a great puzzle game. It's very fun. I think Money Puzzle Exchanger is also a very good game. Also seems to have gotten eviscerated in reviews. But I would say if you're interested, Magical Drop 3, like the Arcade Archives version, is like less than $10, I think. And it's real good. If you have Nintendo Switch Online, Magical Drop 2, the Super Nintendo version, which is a good port, is on there, so you can play it online with friends. I've done Final Burn online play and RetroArch online play with Magical Drop before. I mean, they're fun games, man. They're good. They're good. What I use them for is the same thing I use Balatro and Vampire Survivors for, which is I want to play a game, but I got 12 minutes. And I think for that, they're great. They're fun. They're cute. They're light. But also provide a lot of really fast-paced, engaging gameplay in a short span of time with no lead up or introduction necessary, which is what I want out of something like this, a quick play puzzle game, you know?
Yeah, I like them. I just don't like them as much as I like a Puzzle Bobble or a Panel de Pon or a
Tetris. I'd take this over Puzzle Bobble every day of the week.
Well, you're wrong. That's fine.
Panel de Pon is pretty darn good. It would be a pretty tough fight between which one of those I prefer more. I'd probably lean Magical Drop.
You're very wrong then.
But Panel de Pon is real good.
Oh, wow.
I like all of them. I don't know. Puzzle Bobble is the lowest on that totem pole for me.
Oh, that is fighting words.
I don't hate Puzzle Bobble. I just don't love Puzzle Bobble.
Oh, what is wrong?
Puzzle Bobble annoys me with the inaccuracy. I want to know exactly where my shit's gonna go. I don't ever want to have to question it. In that's
not inaccurate. It's very accurate.
It's not. It doesn't show
You're
me on.
Inaccurate.
No. It's I am. That's the problem.
I see.
Anyway, I recommend it for the amount of money you got to spend to get it, which is $0 to less than $10. It's great. I think it's a great game. It's cute and it's fun. It's
a fun puzzle game. It's not bad at all. I would recommend other puzzle games over it, but I wouldn't recommend against it in any way.
Well, I will use my recommendation to cancel out your recommendation and fully recommend it over those, so that we have no meaningful conclusion to this episode.
It's fine. It's a fine game.
Oh no. Fine. Yeah. It's more
I'll
than
give
fine.
It fine out of 10.
But the important thing is that neither one of us thinks it's bad, which
no, it's certainly not a bad game.
Next generation thought, but it's hard to say.
It's weird because everything about that review is weird because he doesn't think it's new. He doesn't think it's innovative, but he does think it's fun and addictive, as fun and addictive as sex, but he still gave it a 2 out of 5. None of this makes sense to me.
But specifically sex after lunch in a jester suit.
None of this makes sense to me.
It does make sense. It's our
sex
Patreon.
in a jester suit. Oh, right.
No, that makes less sense. Patreon.com/Retro Warriors, where there is no sex in a jester suit. Or really
that's
sex
an
of any
extra
kind.
tier.
That's the tier above guy. If you pay us $200 a month.
$200,000 a month. One of us will have sex in a jester suit. You don't get pictures. You don't get to know when it happens. It'll just happen.
Right. We'll just let you know. We'll nod and you'll know that it occurred. None of this is legally binding. This is for legal purposes. This is a joke. We have Patreon. You can get Talking Wizards there. You can get uncut versions of this show where we talk about Trails of Cold Steel for 20 minutes.
Yep.
You can get that other show we do, Read Along. That one.
Mm-hmm.
That one's fun. Where we read very angry letters from Computer Gaming World. Which was
God, that first letter to the editor was so brilliant this time.
Fucking bizarre. Weird shit in those old PC gaming magazines.
Oh yeah.
We want to thank our following patrons for giving us money, starting with Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
And not a bear in a man suit.
Dr. Jason Tharp.
Abe Lincoln, the president.
The Abe Lincoln?
Man.
Joystick Cowboy.
Epic Da Vinci.
Jerry Voz.
David Svihel.
Eric G.
And Novocaine FS.
And Poncho Man, Randy Savage, all gave us money.
I think that was more than 10 this time.
Thank you. Was it more than 10? Oh, no.
Well, if it was exactly 10, I would have ended. So, yeah.
That's true. That is how alternating things work.
That is true. That's how even numbers work, yeah.
It's fine. We're so thankful that we wanted to thank 11 people this week. That's how full of thanks that we are.
We are professional. That's why you pay us, and we appreciate that you pay us for our professionalism.
I've been unable to leave my house for a week. I can't count anymore. You can't expect me to count things. It's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. Anyway, we'll be back next week. Thank you for listening. And as always, let us think together.